The MF Empire podcast is brought to you by MaxFit Meals. With over 30 meal selections to choose from, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, MaxFit Meals is the premier meal prep company on the planet. You can literally take care of all your meal needs with MaxFit Meals and know that you're getting high quality, delicious, nutritious meals day in and day out. And right now, if you go to maxfitmeals.com and you use coupon code MFEmpire, you can get $120 off your first 8 weeks, your first 8 subscription orders, $120 off with code MFEmpire at maxfitmeals.com. And you guys, MaxFit Meals are literally the best way to get your health in check and know what you're getting day in and day out. So MaxFit Meals is a great place to go. Go there today. MaxFit Meals, we focus on the food to give you the time to focus on your passions. And Kris, what else is the MF Empire brought to you by?
Hey, yeah, we're also brought to you by Meek Marketing. If you are looking to build your brand, scale your brand, either locally or beyond, they will take care of it for you. They did it for us at MaxFit. You can find them at meekmarketing.com or on all social media avenues at meek_marketing. I personally highly recommend Brian and the whole team at Meek Marketing. Key part of the success here at MaxFit Empire, and we want the same for you. So hit them up, meekmarketing.com.
And if you're listening to the podcast, make sure you rate, review, subscribe. It really helps get the message out there. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave us a comment below in any of the videos and give us some tips or ideas for upcoming episodes. And if you're a business owner and you would love to be on the MF Empire podcast, go to mfempirepodcast.com and hit us up. Send us an email, or you can reach us at MF Empire Pod on social media. Send us a DM and let us know a little bit about your story, and we'd love to have you on. We are here to help businesses grow, and that's the only way we can do this is with your help. And thank you so much ahead of time if you rate, review, or any of those things. Thank you so much. Let's get into the episode. Welcome to the MF Empire podcast, where we help business professionals and leaders like you take your business to the next level. In each episode, we bring you expert insights and practical advice on how to grow your business, increase revenue, become a better leader, and achieve your goals. Whether you're just starting out or you're looking to expand your existing business, this podcast is for you. Join us as we explore the latest trends, strategies, and tools to help you succeed in today's competitive marketplace. Let's get started on your journey to business growth. Now, here are your hosts, Kris Spencer and Brian Meek. Kris, how you doing today?
Brian, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing today, buddy?
I'm excited for this one. It's this is right in my wheelhouse. So this is the episode of the
MF Empire podcast
that I'm the most excited about. We're getting into chapter 7 of Good to Great by Jim Collins, the fantastic, legendary business building book. And today we're talking about chapter 7, Technology Accelerators. Sure. Let's get into that let's get into it right away.
Let's jump right into it. Yeah. Technology is something that in the first decade we ran on very little. And the last decade, especially the top end of this past decade, we have invested heavily into, and I think it's been a key part of our success. So yeah, I mean, technology, let's get right into it.
So walk me through, you started, MaxFit started in 2004.
Yes.
Walk me through what you used for
had a PC, QuickBooks point of sale. QuickBooks, same QuickBook accounting software. They have a offer, I'm sure they probably still do. It's a POS system. It rings you up, and then it has inventory on there as well. It's very basic. It runs off your PC. So you basically come into work, you log into an old IBM PC or whatever, and you're off to the races. No scanner, nothing. Just that was it.
But you were, but
you only have 50 products to sell. Right. It's really not that complicated. There's no bells and whistles. There's no reporting, which is huge. We use no secrets held back here. We use a Clover software system here with all the great reporting that we rely heavily on, because nothing here at MaxFit is done without the data to support it. So we use data as a fundamental tool to power us in any decision making that we have, and there was basically no data in that software other than your gross sales for the day. And I used to always factor in my sales taxes, and I remember when I hit $20,000 sales in a month, plus the sales taxes, I thought I was going somewhere in this world. And then
you just didn't know where you were going.
Going to closing that store and then moving somewhere else and bouncing around like a pinball for a couple of years, decades. And then here we are now, stuck with me, didn't go anywhere.
So technology has transformed since this book was written.
Wasn't like we were cheaping out. There really wasn't anything available back then. Yeah.
Right. I mean, even cell phones were pretty archaic back then.
Yeah,
right?
and I think maybe this QuickBooks was
probably advanced,
state of the art. Yeah,
right,
and I'm causing throwing shade at it, and here it was.
Right. I remember I worked for Sears during that kind of 2002, 2004, and it was like DOS based, like text. Like it wasn't that advanced.
It's like the Oregon Trail
game. Right. So
people don't know who that is, what that is. But anyways,
2010, 11, 12. When did you guys or you start jumping, because you were running everything? When did you jump into like the big technology of our generation, which is social media?
Social media. There was this kid working for me. Rhett was his name, Rhett Vandermark. I think his mom buys meals from us, but he just hit me up one day, and he had stopped working for me and shot me a text. He says, "Hey, dude, get on Instagram, promote your brand. It's free." And that was about as deep as a text, and I did that.
Right.
And then you can scroll back our at ShopMaxFit Instagram. You can go, if you got all the free time in the world, you can keep scrolling for 10 years. You'll see the early days. The cage and me posting pictures of every customer that, the 5 people that walked in the door that day. I would take a picture of them, and, we utilized it there. I think that's 3 or 4 posts a day for Instagram, social media. We were using Facebook, but Instagram was so much more interactive. I think there was a lot more filters, and
it was also new, so they were really pushing a lot of the algorithm was in your favor at that time.
And then
everybody's favorite.
We had a Black Friday around this time, and we shit on any Black Friday we've had ever and ever since, to be honest with you.
Right.
And it was all based on Instagram posts and promoting it on Instagram and building up hype. We also, like I said, we did use Facebook, and primarily was it like events, Facebook events, and you would tag a bunch of people and they would say they're going. I think that's not even a thing at all anymore on Facebook.
It still exists, but nobody uses
but
it.
back then people would.
It was the thing.
I'm throwing a sale, and then people would show up because of that event. So, I mean, early on, there was actually a group of knuckleheads around town that were, promoters. I mean, I say that with like an endearing way, they were promoters, partying, having a great time, and they showed me how to do what they were doing to bring people to their car shows and their parties that they would throw. And I adapted it to the store, and it worked just as well, if not better, than what they were doing. And, so you would sit around and I think there was even codes, you could add all your friends, and they had all the trick codes to, instead of manually adding all your friends to these events. So yeah, it was a really, like the Wild West time in social media, but I had nothing else. I didn't have 50 cents to rub together to run an ad in the newspaper. That wouldn't have worked. Sorry, newspaper. Which are all closed by now, or they're, online or something only. But those are dead things, and we couldn't afford them then anyway. So we rock and rolled. It was free. I had a phone. My wife paid the cell phone, and we made it happen.
Talk to me about the first time you ran like a boosted post or Facebook ad or something like that.
Well, I've said the story a million times. There was this YouTuber or celebrity that I don't even really want to mention anymore because he's a cryptocurrency NFT guy,
Right.
But back then he was an inspiration. He was new on the scene, and Gary V. No offense, if you love Gary V. He kind of jumped the shark a little bit, but that's all right. Nobody's human. We're all human. Excuse me. Nobody's perfect. But anyways, Gary V I woke up stressed out, bills to pay, getting orders, cutting checks I couldn't cash, couldn't pay for. So I'm stressed out one night. I wake up at 2 a.m. I flip on a Gary V video, and I'm thankful for that. The whole context of Gary's whole little adrenaline, caffeine, other stuff induced post was about get on Facebook. Facebook's the right place to be. Get on Facebook. If you're not on Facebook, boost a post. If it's 50 cents, 5 pennies, get on there, do it. And I said, Gary, I'm going to listen to you, man. So about 5 a.m., I think also his strain of advice was, find your most popular post that you've put out lately and boost that post. So I just went on there. I did just that. And it was incredible, man. Like people saw it, and the algorithm was different. I think I probably spent $25 and got more people coming in from the equivalent of spending $2,500 today or more. It was just that magical, and I got lucky. And there were, people people that were on YouTube spreading knowledge like Gary and offering up this free advice. So I do owe Gary an apology for his NFT jab, and I do owe him a thank you for taking the time. I'm sure he was building his own brand.
The same thing. It's the same thing. It's just the new technology,
the newest thing. But I don't think anything he's pumping out worked as good as Facebook. And Facebook was it. Might be Facebook again in his eyes. I don't know. I lost touch with good old Gary, but it worked, and it was one of those things in life where I've tried a million things. And I tried one thing and it hit. So I guess that's a parable for anyone's life. Like if you don't try, you don't swing for a base hit, you don't swing for a home run.
Right.
You just walk away, put the bat down and quit. You're never going to get to base and eventually score a home run. So for me, it was just the one thing that actually hit of many things now. And it kind of cemented that technology is it. Social media is it. It's the new public square. It's the new way to get in front of people and get attention. And from there on, it was like I was addicted to it like crack or something, and just went to town.
And the key here is that it's not, but it shouldn't be the only thing, right?
Sure.
You can't buy your way into success, meaning like customer service still has to play a part, right?
Sure.
Having great products still has to play a part.
Another thing is if you've got a bad product, another influencer makes you same thing. And if you have a bad product, you're wasting your time and energy bringing attention to it. Right. So hand in hand, we worked on both. And yes, listen to Brian. It's attention can be good. It could also be a bad thing, right?
Right.
I personally, I know anyone here listening probably has seen people get attention to a bad product.
Right.
And then it actually hurts them.
Right.
Exposes their weaknesses, their shortcomings, and any issues they're having is going to be magnified, and it's going to be out there in the public square for everyone to see and criticize. And people can be heartless on social media.
So the key in this and the take home on this part of it is that, social media is just one aspect of technology, but whatever technology you're going to invest in, whether it's a new POS system, whether it's a new data system, it's a new marketing company or whatever, not every one thing is going to be the answer. It's part of the equation. It's not just the only thing. It's just another thing that you need to pay attention to.
Sure.
It's just that it's become, because social media is basically free for the most part. It's now a paid to play system, and we'll get into all that stuff in other podcasts, but for the most part, it's a free system. You're just playing in somebody else's sandbox.
Sure.
And you have to be very well aware that when you're playing in somebody else's sandbox, you play by their rules, and you have to maintain those rules. And we've learned a lot of that the hard way throughout the time that we've worked together. Using songs we shouldn't be. Now it's a completely different ballgame. But back then it was, you'd get a post that was turned off because you used a song you weren't supposed to use, and you get shadow banned for using the wrong hashtag or something. And now it's a little different now, but it still exists. We use social media as a technology is part of it. Now we're really diving deep into the technology of the business, right? The things like you said, like the POS systems, the inventory systems, the time card systems, to make sure that we're keeping track of what our labor costs are, what our, how much
percentage of labor to
margins,
to sales, right? Yeah.
Margins, making sure that we're paying attention, right? Because you've said it a million times to other people in the business, and the biggest expense is your people. So you can lose everything in a matter of a week or two if you don't pay attention to it.
You can lose everything, and you can also, if you're running on an efficient payroll and you've done other things like leaning your business or kaizening your business where you're running more efficiently, you can have a better understanding of your payroll percentages, and if the opportunity actually will arise where you can actually bless your staff, with the best you can, right? Like, depending on the position they have, but you can pay them more. I think it's been a lot easier for us to increase payroll to stay relevant with increasing payroll in California, hourly wage, but also come in ahead of that, not just matching increasing minimum wage, et cetera, but come in dollars and ahead of that and be competitive, and also take care of the people that are running your brand and that are the face of your company. And if you don't have a deep understanding of like your percentage of payroll to gross sales, and you don't follow those reports that are so much easier to get via the technology that's available today, and all of that is primarily found on our POS system.
Right.
So it's pretty awesome. We can come up here to the HQ, MaxFit HQ. We can pull up the 2 65-inch screens, and you could screen mirror or project our reports, and we can have a team meeting and figure out, if we're spending too much, if we're spending too little, and we can afford to bring on some more hands on deck to bring in more customers or to increase customers' retention and anything that we can do. So it's all there, it's all available, and it's actually a blessing to do business in 2023, as long as you're open and willing to learn. And I got to thank Brian. He's brought a lot of these reports, because when I first brought on these Clover systems, I just used them like they were an extension of this POS system, like the QuickBooks POS, and it was fancier, and it was a tablet, and it was all encompassing one unit, but I just used them very similar to
just to ring people up,
right? And that was now Brian, gotta hand it to you. You really incorporated a lot of this stuff. So,
thank you.
Kudos. There's a thank you for that on the air. You don't get that often. So. But no, that's just place on the bus, right?
Right. It's necessary to do that because. First of all, you're paying for technology. You might as well utilize it. You might as well squeeze and it's
increased your value, right?
Right. And my understanding of like how a business operates from the inside. As we expand and grow into multiple markets, the opportunity to understand like, hey, is this going to be a profitable market or not?
Sure.
Because we know what we can do in the market that we're currently in.
And it makes you aware. Like sometimes you have fantasies in your head, like going to such and such town because I used to surf there or whatever.
Right.
Seems so awesome, but
no,
it's sometimes not, right? And if you have a deep understanding of your market.
Right. And I've worked for companies in the past that are like deep pockets. And it's like, hey, you know what? As long as the job gets done, just it doesn't matter. Like, who cares how many people work and how long you work, whatever. Just the job needs to get done. And it's given me the opportunity to take that those learnings and those skills to other businesses that I work with and work for, and say, well, we're going to lean this down. We're going to become the not only the best, but we're going to become efficient and more profitable.
Who's to say that those companies that have that ability to just pay whatever, are they their legs are going to be around forever? Is it reach forever? Or does that eventually catch up with them because they've lost their core values of deeply understanding all aspects of their business and got bloated and will disappear, like, Circuit Cities and other major companies that in my lifetime I never thought would see disappear, and some of them were even mentioned in Good to Great, and they lost their core values. So technology can be great, definitely needs to be utilized and definitely understood. So
just the big thing here, and as we kind of come to an end, because it's this chapter, it was written as a way to say like, hey, it's a thing, but it's not the only thing. It's not as important. Technology is not as important as great leadership. It's not as important as the right people on the right bus, the right seats on the bus. It is an important piece, but it is an accelerator. If you already have the things that are making you great, it just makes you great faster. It's not in lieu of, it is in addition to. So I think we've kind of touched all the bases on this one. I mean, do you have anything else to add?
No, Kris? I can't add anything else. I'm just thankful to be alive in 2023 and given the opportunity to have all this amazing technology. All you youngsters out there, I mean, technology, look at it this way, it could be your best friend or your greatest enemy, right? So, enjoy yourself, watch some YouTube videos, because I do it myself. If you want to play some video games, but don't let entertainment overcome your life. Utilize some of this technology that's available to educate yourself, to keep yourself motivated daily. Put on your Gary Vee, your shot of adrenaline, put on your Andy Frisella or whatever you want to listen to. Andrew Huberman, learn about like optimizing your nutrients, your diet to help you be more effective. Utilize this technology that's available in the United States and the world for that matter to be a better person and have a better, well-rounded, more quality life and business. So thank you guys. That's it, man. That's it. This has been another outstanding, amazing, and fantastic edition of the MF Empire podcast, and I'm a little hyped up because it's Friday. So TGIF, everybody, if you're watching this around the world, bye-bye.